Hey, hi, it's me, Bobby, and I wanted to talk today about black sheeps and being the black sheep of your family and not knowing why or how it happened. And that's in all honesty. And I have to put this out there because I feel really alone in this. And let me put this down some. So we'll start with my sister, and we'll start with my youngest sister and her hatred for me. And I don't know where it stems from, but I just know that it's there because it's obvious, and because all the kids tell me, all the kids being my nieces and nephews and my kids, or my kid, one of them, um, and my mom tells me, and my grandmother tells me, and everyone tells me, except her. She just won't talk to me, and I don't understand why. Like, I haven't had a conversation with my youngest sister since we were teenagers, and that's been like over 20 years. And I don't know why, but she just absolutely hates me and tells everybody about it. And I've never stolen from her. I've never gotten in a fight with her. I've never done anything to her to make her hate me. But she deprived her kids of having me as an auntie, and she deprived me of having my nephews and niece, and it's all because of her hatred for me that is invisible to me because I don't understand it. Um, when my best friend passed away, this is the first time I heard about her hating me. Was back when my best friend passed away, and we came out to his viewing, and we were in the car on the way to the viewing, and we pulled up in her driveway, and my mom says, "Let me go in and make sure it's okay if you come in." And I'm like, "What? Why wouldn't it be okay if I come in? Like, it's my little sister. I haven't seen her in a while. I haven't seen her kids in a while." Like, she's like, "Let me just go make sure." And then she comes out and says, "No, she doesn't want you even in her driveway." And I'm like, "What the heck? Why?" She's like, "I don't know. You know Monica. You know how she is." And I'm like, "No, actually, I don't. I don't know how she is. I don't understand. I don't know what went on or whatever." But and um, so then now her kids hate me, and they have no reason to because they don't even know me. And I've never done anything to any of my sisters. I've never stolen from any of my sisters, and I've never, um, I don't know what else. I've never fought with any of my sisters big time except Danya. Um, but we got past that, and she told me she forgave me, and I told her I forgave her, so there should have been no more after that. But turns out that she, I guess, secretly hated me, and she was doing things, plotting on me, um, because she started dating this guy. Okay, no, let me start at the beginning right here. Um, my mom had sold her house, and they all moved to Wichita, and they all being Monica and her family, and then my mom and my daughter, and then you know Tisha and her wife stayed out there in their apartment, and then Danya was um, in hotels, and then she got into an apartment, and I was going to go to Kansas, but I, you know, just couldn't do it. I wasn't ready yet. So, anyways, I was staying with my ex boyfriend Josh, and they, Danya and Josh, behind my back, they had a meeting, and they plotted that I would be moving in with Danya, and that he would be paying my rent to her. And he comes home and tells me, "Pack your bags, you're moving with your sister." And I'm like, no, no, I'm not. We've already talked about, me and my sister have already like talked about that we're going to go our separate ways while we're here, like since mom left or whatever. And he's like, "No, I already talked to her. I already asked her." And I'm like, why would you do that to me? Why would you go behind my back and ask my sister to move if I could move in there? I'm like, that's so messed up. Now she's going to think that I plotted it and that I wanted to move in there and all this crazy stuff. And I had no part in it, and she knew that because she told Josh, "We don't have to tell Bobby about our meeting here. Um, we'll just tell her that, um, I saw that the situation wasn't too good and that I needed a roommate, and she'll have to pay rent, but really you'll be paying her rent." So basically, she was trying to get me to pay my rent and him to pay my rent. So she was trying to get double the rent, trying to get her rent covered by us, by him not telling me that he was paying my rent and then me paying my rent on top of that. And that was so messed up. And then he called her out on it, thank gosh, And anyways, so it started from there. And then I don't know what happened, but I was only living with her for a month. I stayed with her the month of October 2021 in a 2-bedroom apartment. And then, like, as I'm staying there, a week goes by, and then she starts moving her stuff out and starts being all weird. And she gets cameras and she puts locks on her door. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care. Do what you must, because whatever, I'm not going to steal your worthless crap, It was worthless to me. So I'm not going to take any of it. And, she was doing whatever she did and blaming me for stuff that was just outrageous. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And November comes, and it's like November 2nd or something like that. And she's like, rent's due the 6th or whatever. So the 6th, I paid rent. And then the 7th, she kicked me out. And Josh had already paid for October. So she took my November rent and kicked me out. And I could have put up a fight, because I could have done that, because I had my stuff moved in there. And all those squatters' rights or whatever, all that bullshit. But I didn't want to do that. I just was like, whatever, I'll leave, because I don't like drama. I don't like confrontation. I don't like any of that stuff, especially when it's bound to ruin your relationship just because, one person feels some type of way. And, she kept accusing me of stupid shit, stealing stupid shit, but it was really the guys that she was having over there that she was dating or whatever, seeing. They kept stealing from her, and then somehow she would twist it around and try to make it my fault. But it was so messed up. And I never got any of my mail. She told me I could have my mail sent to her P.O. box because I couldn't get a P.O. box without a rental agreement or car insurance. And I didn't have either one of those. I didn't have a car. And so she said I could get my mail at her P.O. box, but I never got any of my mail. It just, "Oh, you never got any mail." Really? Because I was getting at least 3 or 4 pieces every day at mom's house when we were staying there. That's kind of odd that I went from, at least a piece a day. So we'll say 7 pieces a week minimum to zero ever, you know? And, and I know I had gotten a couple settlement checks that just seemed to disappear. When I called on the settlement checks, they said my settlement checks were sent and were cashed. How is this possible? Because I didn't get these settlement checks and I didn't cash them. But anyways, so it was like, really, who's stealing from who? And when I got kicked out in November 7th, I went back to Josh's house, and I had forwarded my mail, but it didn't go through for some reason because my name wasn't on his um, mailbox at his house or something, at his apartment. So my mail still went to Danya's apartment, to her P.O. box from October, November, December, January, February, March, for 6 months of worth of mail that she got that she claimed she didn't. Anyways, which that's, federal fraud, federal offense, whatever. But she would tell me that, oh, I did have some pieces of mail for you, but so and so stole it. Or I did have a piece of mail and it was sitting over here and it looked like a debit card and some checks, or a check, but I left it on the desk and so and so stole it. And I'm thinking, so if you told me that so and so stole it out of your car, then why would you leave it out when you allowed so and so at your apartment to steal my stuff again? And then you said so and so steals your stuff all the time and that you need to glue stuff down because so and so steals so much from you. But you still allow him over and you still sleep with him and whatever. That's your business. But don't you put my stuff at risk, like that's just insane. And anyways, I'm just needing to speak out about this stuff because the way people have treated me and the way things have gone down the past few years since I've been sober. I've been sober 6 years now. And the way things have changed, the way people have treated me is just outrageous. And I don't understand why or what their deal is. But when we were all living at my mom's house and, you know, Tisha and Angie had gone somewhere, I don't know where, but they asked Dustin, my nephew, to just to watch their stuff or whatever. And he was constantly on their video games, and wouldn't let anybody else play, wouldn't let anyone else do anything, because he was just being a teenager, whatever he was. So Josh had broken his ankle at the time. It was his ankle. And he was at home from work. He didn't have any work, He was off work, so he was bored. So I went and I grabbed the Super Nintendo, my big sister's Super Nintendo, from her office floor. I didn't go in the office or anything. It was sitting right there by the door. So I grabbed the Super Nintendo and I brought it up to my room for Josh to play, and I plugged it in. And then all of a sudden, I get bombarded by Dustin, and then my mom, and then Tisha, and then everybody telling me that I was a thief and all this crap, telling me that I was going to sell their Super Nintendo. And, this was in 2019. So if you think about it, a Super Nintendo was going to be worth 50 cents. They wouldn't even take one at a pawn shop if you wanted to pawn one then, It's ridiculous that they would even say that. And I was just really hurt, and no one would listen to me. No one would believe me. They just wanted to believe him. And right then and there, my mom turned around and kicked me and Josh out. So we had to go. It was January, I think 23rd or 24th of 2019. She kicked us out, and so we had to go live in my car. Thank God I had a car. But we were living in my car and sleeping in the UPS parking lot Um, I remember looking over at Josh one time, and while he was sleeping, and he had icicles off his nose snot from sleeping in the freezing cold. And then we would bounce around from um, his friends' houses to take showers and stuff, and then for him, and then as long as Dustin wasn't there, and as long as um, my mom was there, because they had to make sure I wasn't going to steal anything. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, how long have I? Whatever. I just didn't care. I just like, whatever, dude. You can say what you want to say because I know the truth and he knows the truth, and they all knew the truth that I wasn't taking it. I took it up to my room, but they still said that I was going to take it out of the house, which doesn't make sense. But anyways, um, and you know, so we did that, and then we were living in the car, and then we finally got an apartment, and um, Josh and I started fighting really bad. Some things started happening between us. We was just fighting, and I'll go into the stuff later because it's kind of crazy, like the stuff that happened that still I have no explanations for, and it would be nice to have explanations for those one day. Like, you know, females' clothing and stuff ending up in my apartment and in my car, and just stuff like that I'll get into another time. But so back to my sisters and my family. We end up living back in my car through um, June and July of 2019, me and Josh. And it was really hot and nasty by then, sleeping out in the car. It was pretty sick. And um, we were sleeping in Walmart parking lots, and then we slept on my mom's street, and then sometimes in her driveway. And she was like, all right, by August, she was like, all right, you might as well just clean out the garage and stay in that little section of the garage there that isn't being used. And so we bombed that, and we stayed in there, and we used space heaters in the winter, and then we went inside when we had to use the bathroom, and I was accused of stealing their food and stealing their drinks and God knows what else. They just accused me of so much crap. And then I heard them say that they were going to put cameras up, and I was, yes, so excited. I'm like, I hope that they don't tell anybody that they put the cameras up. I hope that they do it when no one's here, or like my mom does it when no one's here. And then she can see who's really stealing the stuff and blaming it on me, which ended up being Dustin and Monica's kids and Danya's kids. But, the thing is, um, their parents, their mom would just always say, well, Bobby stole this and that. And so they never had to get in trouble for it. They never had to admit that they did it because their mom already blamed their Aunt Bobby for everything. So why would they have to admit to anything? They didn't have to because it was already blamed on somebody, and they knew that they can get away with whatever. And I don't understand like where all this hatred from my sisters stems from, but I feel it from all three of them. None of them like me, and I don't know why. Like, seriously, I have never stolen from any of my sisters. There was this one time that there was a guitar in the garage, and I had seen the kids beating on it, the neighbor kids, and I had seen some of the other kids playing on instruments and stuff in the garage, and I thought that someone had left it there and that they didn't want it, because there was sheet music in it. There was no names on the sheet music. And I had taken the guitar and I was like, I wonder if it's worth any money. And I took the guitar and I pawned it and I got $40 from it. Come to find out, it was my older sister's wife's guitar. And I felt so horrible. I felt like this big, because I was like, she'd never done anything to me. Why, you know, this is really bad and there's no explaining away this, because they're going to think what they're going to think and they already think poorly of me. So they thought I did it on purpose. They thought that I was trying, and I'm like, if I was going to steal from you, I wouldn't be something like, that. It would be something worth more money, because if I wanted you to hate me more, I would make it worth it. You know, I'm not just going to take something and let you guys hate me so much that, and it's only worth $40. If you're going to hate me, it's going to be worth it, because my big sister and I had always gotten along, and even if she didn't trust me at all, like, we'd always gotten along, and when they asked about the guitar, I thought about lying, but then I was just like, I'm going to tell the truth, and I told them, and I tried to buy a new guitar, and I was going to surprise Angie with it, but Josh and I had gotten in a fight, and he broke the guitar, like 2 days after I got it, and that really sucked, but whatever. I never got to I got to apologize to them, yes, and I never got to reimburse her for it or give her a new one or anything like I wanted to, and like I had put money into, and like I had gotten for her, and I couldn't just tell her about it. Oh, yeah, I got you a guitar, but now it's not there anymore. So there's no even any use telling her. I just was a piece of shit still. And I've never stolen from Monica, never stolen from any of her kids, never taken food from her mouth, never taken food from her kids' mouth, never did anything to them. I don't know why she hates me. I've never stolen from Danya. I've never stolen from her kids. I don't know why she hates me. I really don't know why she hates me, why Danya hates me. Like, there was this one time with food stamps that she told me I could spend $100 and I spent $200. And, but, I mean, she had $1,800 on there. And, I mean, that's not my business, but, I mean, it's not like it was like she had 300 and I spent 200, that's the point I'm making, not the point that I had a right to do that, because I didn't. But my point is that it wasn't like her last 300, kind of thing, or her last 200 and she only had 300 or something, kind of thing. But as far as anything else goes, I never stole anything from Danya. Never, not one thing. But she constantly accused me of it, but she constantly accused everybody of it. And then she decided that she was moving to California. She's like, I'm getting evicted out of my apartment, so I'm going to start moving my stuff to storage. And this was in February of 2022. And she's like, I'm going to start moving my stuff into storage. And she's like, I'm not going to have enough time to do it all, so can you come stay at my apartment, and whatever I leave here, sell it and send me the money. And then when the sheriff comes to evict me, then hopefully by then you'll have stuff sold and um, whatever. But we didn't realize that the sheriff was going to be there within 5 or 6 days. You know, Donnie was only gone for 8 days, and the sheriff got there after she was gone for about 5 or 6 days. And yeah, and I guess she had left like a little tiny pile of something. I don't remember what it was, like a couple boxes that she wanted me to somehow take to the storage, but I didn't have a vehicle, you know, and she knew I didn't have a vehicle. If she wanted him in the storage, she should have taken him to the storage. She had a vehicle and she had plenty of time, you know, she had a whole month that she knew she was going to California that she could have put that stuff in the storage that, you know, she wanted it to be my fault, you know, it would be my responsibility, my fault that she was missing those things, you know, that's what she wanted to be my fault. But the prices that she wanted for her stuff, like her couches, I had a friend that wanted the couches, and he would have paid $25 for each couch. But she said no, that she wanted $150 for both, and I'm like, they're used and they're stained and they smell like smoke, and I'm like, no one wants them, you know. Like, I had put ads up for all her stuff, like she asked, and when people hit me up about them, I added her to the conversation so that she could see, you know, who or what's coming over and for what. And nobody wanted anything except for this bird cage thing that was out there, and then some mirror thing. It's a mirror that she had, so I ended up sending her the money for those. And then nothing else was sold. And one day when I went to Walmart, I had Ubered over to Walmart, and then I came back and I had the house locked up, but then inside were two people, this couple that we knew, Jared and Kayla. And I'm like, how the hell did you get inside? You know, I had the door locked. You're not supposed to do that. You know, I'm watching this place for my sister, and they said they crawled through the window, the kitchen window. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, dude? Like, so I tried to block the window off, but someone, I don't know how they somehow kept getting in. He said that he got a key from my sister, and I wasn't supposed to know about it. And I don't know. But then the sheriffs came, and thank God I had taken my stuff out of there the day before, and I brought my cat over there to visit with me, you know, since I was watching her place for however long it took. Not watching her place, but like trying to stay there and sell her stuff, kind of thing. And while in the middle of all that, I gotten robbed at gunpoint on March 2nd, the day after my birthday. A friend of mine, I thought he was a friend, Ryan Biggs, he kept trying to get me to meet this dude, this Thomas Brown guy. Like one time he had called and asked me to hook up something for him, and I was like, dude, no, I'm not a drug dealer, dude. I don't hook anybody up with anything. Like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, just, and then he's like, fine, whatever. And then the next time he's like, well, can you take him to meet my dealer? No, dude. Like, I don't have a vehicle for one, and for two, why don't you just send him to your dealer? Why do I have to be some kind of middleman? This is so weird. Like, why are you calling me and saying this stuff to me? This is just weird. It was just un. It was just unnormal. It was odd. Um, and I'm like, I don't even know your dealer. I don't even, like, why would you do that? Why don't you just send that guy to your dealer? Why you gotta put? Why would you have somebody without a vehicle, somebody that doesn't even know your dealer or that guy. Why would I have to middleman it? Like, why don't you find somebody else to middleman it that knows your dealer and that guy? Anyways, and then I didn't do that for him either. So then, third time is a charm, right? Because third time he says, my friend has a truck for sale. I heard you're looking for a vehicle because I just got my stipend from college. And I was like, yeah. He's like, how much you got? And I was like, 1,700. And so he was like, yeah, he's got a vehicle for sale. And the guy, and so he's like, he's going to get a hold of you. So he got a hold of me on, I have all the messages and stuff on, I can put them in the comments or whatever. It doesn't matter. But he said he was in Littleton and he needed me to send him some gas money. So I sent him $20. And he showed up and then he said, well, really, it's my friend's truck and she's going to give me a good deal on it. So I have to pretend like I'm the one buying the truck from her. So basically, you're just going to be here to drive my vehicle um, while I drive the truck, or you're driving the truck while I drive my vehicle or whatever. He's like, but we have to pretend like the money's coming from me, and we have to pretend like I'm going to be signing the title. And he's like, that's the only way she's going to give me a deal for 1,700. Otherwise, she wants to charge $3,000 to a stranger, you know. And I'm like, well, okay, since you're Ryan's friend, you know, that sounds right, you know. No. We go all the way to Aurora. Mind you, I bought this guy some food, some ice cream, and I filled up his tank. I put 30 more bucks in, and then like he was like, all right, let me see the money. I'm gonna go over here and get the truck. You stay here. And then I was like, well, whatever. I'm staying here with his vehicle, so I'm like, he can't. He's not gonna take off, you know, with my money and leave me with his truck, you know. So then he comes back and he's like, she's not even here right now. Here, gives me my money back, and he's like, we have to go meet her by your house or by your sister's house, you know, by Waterworld. So we drive all the way back. He was trying to earn my trust, basically, you know. And we get there, and he acts like he's on the phone with her, and he's like, well, where are you? Well, why is it taking you so long? She's like, I have the truck with me, and if you meet me at Waterworld, then we can just do the exchange there. Blah 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 blah. And so we go to meet her at Waterworld or whatever, and we drive around. And he's like, she still isn't here. And then we pull over there, and he puts the gun up and tells me, "Give me that money. Get the fuck out of my car now. Get the fuck out of my car now." And I was like, you can't do this, dude. Like, I was like, I know your name. I know your license plate number, which license plate number is Colorado ANEV33. That's his license plate number is a white SUV of some sort. And his name is Thomas Brown. Um, but anyways, he was telling me that he had been to prison and all this. So I was like, you're going to go back to prison? I was like, you're stupid. I know your full name. I know your license plate number. Like, I know you're friends with Ryan Biggs, and they all know information about you too. I was like, you're fucking stupid, dude. And he was like, get out. And he held the gun up to me and told me to get out. And I, you know, I started crying and I got out. And he's a punk, you know, to do that to a female that, you know, I had told him about how I was homeless and how, you know, I need to buy a vehicle with that money that I just got from college, like my college stipend. I needed to use that so I can buy a vehicle to live in. And I told him that, you know, I didn't have a job and I didn't have any money coming in, and that was basically all the money I had in the world. And he didn't give a fuck. He just robbed me and didn't even care. And I called Ryan. I said, "Your friend just robbed me at gunpoint." And he was like, "No way. That's not cool. Can't believe him." Okay. Let me call him. Yeah, he's not answering for me. But then someone else told me they had just ran into him at Shondel's trying to buy some drugs with it, with a lot of money. And I'm like, huh, well, that's interesting. And somebody else told me that just 2 days before he robbed me, he was at their trailer and flashing his gun, and he got in trouble by that girl's boyfriend about don't be bringing no guns around here and stuff like that, and they made him leave or something like that. But yeah, that's what happened there. And but of course my sister wouldn't listen to me or believe anything. She just in her own freaking twisted whatever. um but yeah, this is to be continued because I see the video's already getting too long. um okay, I'll continue from there. We'll continue from the day after my birthday, 2022, in the next video.